Presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Southwest.
The Texas Rangers sit 2.5 games back of the second American League wild card. The Seattle Mariners are just 3 games back of the same playoff position. Only 3 weeks of games remain, and these division rivals will play 7 of their next 10 head-to-head. It's a recipe for intense drama and pennant drive baseball. Welcome to Rangers Baseball presented by AT TEX. It's the beginning of a new week with just 3 weeks remaining in the regular season. Games very precious at this point as your 500 Texas Rangers play host to the Seattle Mariners. It is all division play from this point forward for the Rangers. Plenty against the Mariners, as we mentioned, 7 of the next 10. But they have the Angels in front of them, the Astros as well, and a lot of games with the Oakland Athletics, who have been playing the role of spoiler lately in the West Division. Welcome in, everybody. Big games starting tonight here at Globe Life Park. I am Dave Raymond alongside Mr. Ranger Tom Grieve. This series, the Rangers and the Mariners this year, got started early in Seattle. Tom, it has not been a series that has been real favorable for the Rangers.
No, it's an interesting way to look at the series in that Seattle has won 8 out of 12, but it's actually been a fairly even series when you look at the graphic. The Rangers have out-homered them by a mile, but the ERAs are about the same. The difference has been the Seattle Mariners have won all 4 one-run games. They've scored late in the ball game, and they've been perfect in their save opportunities. The Rangers have only been 1 out of 4. If the Rangers had won their share of the one-run games, it'd probably be 6-6. They haven't played well late in the ball game against the Mariners.
Okay, well, today they're going to face a starter, Ariel Miranda. Interesting guy for Seattle, a guy who has given up 35 home runs this year, going back to those home run numbers we just saw.
Yeah, and I think the story of Ariel Miranda is if you want to beat him, you're going to have to beat him by hitting the home run. And the Rangers did that back on August 2nd. They beat him 5-1, and you're going to get a look at the 3 home runs they hit against him that day. Ironically, he's got an opponent's batting average of .225, which is the 5th best in the league. So he gives up a lot of home runs, he gives up a lot of walks, but he's tough to hit. When he doesn't give up a home run, he's 5-0 in 9 starts. The Rangers lead the major leagues in home runs. If they're going to beat Ariel Miranda tonight, they're going to have to hit the long ball.
It seems so straightforward from the standpoint of the Rangers offensively tonight. The other thing for the Rangers, though, Cole Hamels has the start. They really need him to go back to being Cole Hamels.
Yeah, you know, he's our guy. He's our ace, and he hasn't pitched like that in his last 3 starts. In his last 3 starts, the Rangers have lost all 3. His ERA is .822. But the good news is he's 6-0 at home in 9 starts, and in his career at this ballpark, he's 16-2. Hopefully tonight it'll be 17-2.
Well, and hopefully he'll get some run support. The Rangers have been doling it out in huge lumps this month. This September offense will be in the spotlight with Emily Jones when we come back. Major League Baseball, 9/11. Baseball league-wide taking time to remember all the innocent lives taken in the worst terrorist attack on American soil. Happened 16 years ago today. And today in New York, of course, America remembering, and Washington, D.C. It remains as important as ever that we continue to come together to remember and honor the victims of our shared history. Moment of silence today before the ball game here at Globe Life Park. But the other side of it, baseball is still yet to be played tonight, and an important game for both these clubs. Talking about this Rangers offense for a little more on that. Let's check in with Emily Jones.
Yeah, this Rangers offense has been a big part of this team's success in the month of September. In fact, if you take a look at the numbers, among the best in the American League, as we shine our Shiner Bach spotlight on that Rangers offense. AL ranks in September first in runs per game with 7.1, second in extra base hits, and that 923 OPS is third in the American League. Talk to Shin-Soo Choo about the balance that's taking place within this lineup. He said, look, we can't all get up there and take a bunch of pitches. There has to be a balance of patience and aggressiveness. That's been success for us so far in the month of September. Obviously looking to continue that here tonight and down the stretch. Dave.
Yeah, thanks, Emily, and a point well taken. We talk about it a lot, the way these teams, or whether these players rather have approached things at the plate, but the aggression has been a big part of it. Home runs and power has been a very big part of this offense, and they're hoping for more of that tonight against the Mariners. Speaking of the Mariners, let's take a look at their starting lineup tonight. The Mariners come in 71 and 72, 15 back in the division. Gene Segura up top. Robinson Cano at batting third, but Nelson Cruz has been the heart of this offense this year. Kyle Seager's also had a pretty nice year offensively for them, batting fifth. Ben Gamel in left field will bat ninth for the Mariners tonight. Cole Hamels takes the Rangers out on this Monday night, and an important night for Cole Hamels, as we were talking about in the open, Tom. They need him to restore, I guess, the faith, the confidence that they've had in him all along as the ace of this team. The last three have been a little rough on him, but he's always, you know, a guy, when he heads out there, a chance that we could see something special.
Well, no doubt. When you're knocking on the door for a postseason berth, you tend to bank on the performance of your ace, and that's who Cole Hamels is for the Rangers, and the Rangers would love to be able to do that coming down the stretch, starting with this ball game against Seattle tonight. We'll take a look at Cole's pitch arsenal, brought to us by Ford. He likes to throw his fastball 49% of the time. When you add in the cutter, it's about over 65% of the time. His changeup is an excellent pitch for him, and he also will mix in a curveball. So he's got all four pitches. The key, I think, for Cole in any game, and particularly now, is to command his fastball. If he can throw his fastball where he wants to, that sets up his other pitches. But when you get behind with your fastball, it just makes it that much more difficult, even for a pitcher who has been as excellent as Cole has been. The Rangers defense is delivered to you by Demontron RV. Ryan Rua, after a game yesterday where he had 3 hits, gets another start in left field. Delino back in center field. Shin-Soo Choo will be in right field. Nomar Mazara DHs in the ball game. It's Elvis and Rugi up the middle. At third base, Will Middlebrooks gets the start. Will's had some big hits for the Rangers, had a couple of triples the other day in a doubleheader. He starts at third. Joey Gallo moves over to first, and behind the plate is Robinson Chirinos.
Well, great to see Rougned Odor in the lineup today, out there on the field. A chance to talk to him before the ball game today, and he feels like he is just fine, ready to go after the scare yesterday when he left the game early. First pitch of the game, driven out to right field, but Choo with a little bit of room back there, and retires Segura for out number 1. So this was the play yesterday. Now we're getting to the middle, late innings yesterday when Odor and Mazara got crossed up on that pop-up, and it was a scary moment. Odor was down for a little bit, eventually left the ball game, but as we noted yesterday, walking off on his own power, that we felt was a good sign.
Yeah, and I think if that game was a one-run game, it might have been a different story as far as staying in the game goes. But the score of the game dictated it made a lot of sense to take the last couple of innings off, make sure he's okay. Well, that one could have been a lot worse when you watch that. It could have been closer to the wall. He could have smashed into the wall. He could have done all sorts of things to his knee. So as bad as it looks, the Rangers escaped what could have been a lot worse.
This ball smashed into left field by Mitch Haniger, and he'll have a one-out double. So the Mariners have their first hit of the evening.
And third, the second baseman, number 23.
Haniger put a pretty good swing on that fastball and ripped it down the line. Take a look at the fastball. Looks like it's on the inside part of the plate, but Haniger was right on that one. Haniger's been hot. The last 10 games, he's hit over 460, so he continues where he's been the last week and a half.
So man in scoring position for Seattle. And it brings up the heart of their order now. Third place hitter Robinson Cano, and you see the numbers for Cano, one short of one of those big round numbers, looking for home run number 300 in his career. 87 RBIs this season for Cano. Has 3 home runs in his career against Cole Hamels, 9 for 35 against Hamels. Takes that one in. It's 2-0. We noticed it last time we played the Mariners, but he does use a lot of pine tar.
Yeah, that's a clubhouse manager's nightmare right there.
2-0, and it skips up there. Remember, the whole point of pine tar is to get a little tackiness for the hands. Is he loads up just a little bit with every time he steps in. Did you use much pine tar when you played?
Yeah, I think everybody used pine tar. I don't know that I ever had it on my uniform like that. The big thing was back then you didn't have batting gloves.
Bouncer shortstop, and Andrews right on top of it, and that was nearly a weird play from Mitch Haniger out there. Andrews, though, takes care of Cano, 2 away.
That Cano swinging 3 balls and no strikes. It looked like it was no balls and 2 strikes. The way he swung at this pitch, that is definitely not the swing you're looking at on a 3-0 pitch. If you don't get your pitch, take it. But fortunately, Cano waved at it, hit a little tapper to shortstop. Thank you very much.
Now, you guys didn't use the batting gloves, so did that mean, do you think you guys used maybe a little more pine tar?
No, I don't know that you needed more. I'd say it was something similar, about the same. But you definitely had to build up the calluses in your hand in spring training so it didn't result in blisters. Batting gloves were really a great innovation when they came around for a hitter. You didn't have to worry about that anymore. Now it's very seldom, but occasional, that you see a hitter without batting gloves. You guys just never have gotten used to the way that they feel. I remember the first time that we used them. Most players only used them on their bottom hand, and then occasionally players would use them on both hands, and it eventually evolved to where most players use them on both hands now.
Well, Nelson Cruz, leader in the American League with 107 RBIs.
Oh, very seldom do you see a golfer play golf without using a batting glove. But almost never do you see a golfer wear two
Right.
golf gloves. It's usually just one on your top hand. Whoa.
Wow, that one.
Where in the world was that pitch? That pitch not only didn't just touch the strike zone, that thing was all the way in the strike zone. You can't miss that pitch. One thing if it's borderline, that wasn't even borderline.
Laz Diaz, our plate umpire, same pitch, this time a strike, and that will do it for the Mariners at the top of the first. They leave a man in scoring position. Here come the Rangers. Cole Hamels. And now the Rangers who go to work against Ariel Miranda. Let's take a look at our Southwest starting lineup for the Rangers. 500 record, 71 and 71 coming in. Similar look up top. Shields, Chu, and Elvis Andrus, who is just absolutely scorching in September again. Mazzara, Chirinos, and Gallo in the middle. Will Middlebrooks gets the start at third base. Rougned Odor batting 8th, and Ryan Rua in left field.
We'll take a look at the Ford pitch arsenal for Ariel Miranda. A lot of fastballs. 92 miles an hour on average, about 60% of the time. He throws a splitter and a change. See if we can tell the difference when he throws those pitches, and an occasional slider. But pretty much fastball. Splitter is a little bit slower than his changeup, but it's essentially thrown for the same purpose, to disrupt the timing of the hitter, make him swing early. We talked about Miranda in the open. This guy's tough to hit. A .225 opponent's batting average, the 5th best in the American League. But he also gives up more home runs than anybody else, and a few too many walks. He's 8th in the league in walks. So the key is pretty obvious. The Rangers hit a lot of home runs, most in the major leagues, and this guy gives them up. And if you want to beat him, that's how you beat him, by hitting the long ball and taking a walk. So hopefully guys like Delino, Shin-Soo, Joey Gallo, Robinson Chirinos, guys that have been taking a lot of walks, will be patient, get some base runners, and then several guys take them deep, just like they did the last time.
Ball and 2 strikes on to Shields. .354 on base average for Delino. And he's in that spot now where he is the leadoff guy every game and the center fielder every game. And it's probably going to be like that through the end of the season. Takes it low, 2-2 the count. And we talk about what guys have accomplished this year, or opportunities that they have been afforded. Delino DeShields has earned everything he's getting at this point of the season. Up and in, it's a full count. And it's hard to say enough for the way he has handled himself in this year, and the way he has always been prepared when given the opportunities. Been prepared and produced. 3-2 from Miranda. And this one popped up. First base side, going to be playable over there. 1 away.
Take a look at the Mariners defense. In the outfield, it's Ben Gamble, an exciting player to watch. He's a very aggressive outfielder. Guillermo Heredia is in center field. Mitch Haniger is in right. Kyle Seager has been a Ranger killer in the past, is at third. Danny Valencia is at first. Up the middle, Gene Segura having an excellent year. The veteran all-star Robinson Cano's at second. Behind the plate, Mike Zunino.
Now Chu, and he hits this one right through. Big open hole on the left side of the infield. So Chu is on with the Rangers' first hit of the night.
Yeah, Chu is one of the players, and there's not a lot of them in the league, that will make every attempt to hit against the shift. Obviously, especially against a left-hand pitcher, I think he does it maybe more than he would against a right-hander. But he's going with that inside-out swing, and he can drive the ball to left field with authority. I've seen him hit it in the gap, hit it out of the ballpark to left center field, and took advantage of no one at shortstop right there with a routine out, if there were. Instead, it's a base hit.
Still base runner for Elvis Andrus. And Miranda starts him off very low with ball 1. Andrus 6th in the league with a .306 average. And is on base at .348. New third base coach today for the Rangers, Jason Wood, manager for the AAA club in Round Rock. Tony Beasley away from the club today, attending some family matters. Chu at first in the 2-0 pitch. Andrews takes low, 3-0. So here you go. That's what you were talking about. Good start to this at bat. You look at what Andrews has done in September. The .342 average, but 4 home runs and 14 RBIs, third most in the American League with those RBIs so far. He's been willing to take the walks as well. And does right there. So a 1-out walk following the single. Rangers have a couple of men on for their cleanup man, Nomar Mazara.
Again, the key is so obvious against Miranda. It's be patient, make him throw you a strike, as we were talking a lot yesterday in the ball game. Get a good pitch to hit. And if you are patient and you work the count and he has to throw you a good pitch to hit so he doesn't walk you, that's when you jump on it. And 35 times hitters have done that against him this year. He's given up 35 home runs.
Well, Mazara up there now with Chu at second, Andrews at first base. And he takes strike one. You saw there just a moment ago on the numbers, his 91 RBIs, 6th best in the American League. Hitless though in his last 2 games. First time he had done that since the first week of August. Mazara's been awfully consistent. 0-2 the count. In fact, Mazara over the last 40 games now. Pretty significant stretch. He's hitting .303. Miranda with a check at second. And Mazara pops this one foul. It will end up out of reach and in the seats.
Pretty nice pickup. That's about as happy as you'll see someone to get a ball.
He may not be done giving high fives.
You can thank the young lady on the right in the Blue Ranger t-shirt for that one.
This ball hit well out to right center field, and it is up off the fence. 2 is in. Andrews right behind him, and Nomar Mazara does what he has done all year. His 92nd and 93rd RBI of the season. Rangers lead it 2-0.
That's a pretty nice job of hitting right there by Mazara, who got behind in the count on an off-speed pitch, barely fouled one off on an off-speed pitch. Miranda tries to come in with a high fastball and pretty much executed the pitch the way Zunino asked for it, but Nomar spoiled it anyway. Got the good part of the bat on the ball. It wasn't a home run, but it was only about 2 feet away from being a home run. And it was good enough to drive in 2 runs. So great job by Nomar picking up those 2 runs on a pitch that I think Miranda thought was going to work.
So 2-0 Rangers, and Chirinos takes one right down the middle for a strike. Smiles in that Rangers dugout. Good start to this one. Opening game in a 4-game series against Seattle. 1-1 on Chirinos. Allows everybody to exhale for just a moment. These are all such tense games, it seems. Only 20 remaining in the regular season, including this one. 2-1. Meaningful games too. The Rangers 2.5 back of Minnesota in the wild card chase. Still have to get up over the Angels and the Royals though. Seattle feeling just as much in this thing. 3 back of that final wild card spot. So a lot to play for both of these clubs, and as we mentioned, 7 of the next 10 head to head. Either one team's going to knock the other one out and begin their serious run. or if they end up, you know, sort of splitting these, let's say going 3 and 4, 4 and 3. Liner into left field. That's a base hit. Chirinos reaches again. Mazara can only get to third base. But Chirinos with another base hit. It continues an incredible stretch for him. He has now reached in 25 straight.
Yeah, I just can't say enough of how good Robinson Chirinos looks on a baseball field right now. That's an off-speed pitch. He waits on it, gets a great swing at it. Didn't have to lunge at it. He just waited on it and just ripped it by Seager, barely by Seager. Nomar couldn't move until he saw that ball get by, and by then it was too late to do anything except get to third base. 25 straight games for Robinson. Second longest by a Major League Baseball catcher. Wow. Buster Posey had 30 games. Longest active streak in the big leagues. Boy, he's moved from 9th in the order to 7th in the order, and now he's hitting basically the way he's hitting right now. He's hitting right where he should be, 5th in the order, to be a run producer.
Well, the Rangers have already scored 2 this inning. And they have him on the corners here for Joey Gallo, and he takes strike 1. Gallo tied for 3rd in the league with 37 home runs. 4th in all of Major League Baseball. Got a good swing off there. The count 0-2. The average not very high, but the on-base percentage, that's well above league average. 337, because he has become a much more patient, much more selective hitter. 0-2. And it bounces up there to Zunino. Gallo, in fact, now with 69 walks this year. And to give you a little idea where that would put him, Shin-Soo Choo has 71 walks, and Choo is tied for 8th in the league. Gallo just outside the top 10. Picks it high. It's 2-2. And this is the part to me, Tom, that is the most amazing. You know, down in the count where you're more likely to try and protect and extend an at bat, he is so willing to watch close pitches and find his way back.
Yep, it's been very impressive, the turnaround, and I can't think of many players who have made such a dramatic turnaround during one season.
Well, he'll take strike 3 this time. Not happy with it, but that's a pretty quality pitch for Miranda.
Yeah, and actually, you could make a case that that was a pretty good pitch to lay off of if you're Joey Gallo. It was a borderline pitch. It could have gone either way. It's not like it was a terrible call by Las Diaz, but if you're the hitter and you see that pitch, it doesn't look like a strike. And I think you feel like you're taking a pitch you probably should have taken right there.
Well, now Will Middlebrooks, you see he was hitting home runs at a pretty frequent rate at AAA Round Rock, and lifts this one high in the air to center field. Not going to carry. Guillermo Heredia is there, and the inning is done. But Nomar Mazara, a 2-run double in the first inning, and he has the Rangers on the board first. RBI total in the first inning. Rangers with a 2-0 lead. And our TXU Energy power player to watch, Kyle Seager for the Mariners. Third player in their franchise's history. 30 doubles, 20 homers in 5 different seasons. And when you're talking about Ken Griffey Jr. and Edgar Martinez being the other guys with whom you're keeping company, that's pretty good stuff. He has had a good year this year offensively. In fact, it's a pretty good Mariners lineup.
Yeah, I think you look at this lineup and it's a really good lineup. You see Ben Gamble hitting 9th. There was a time earlier in the season where he was the #1 hitter for average in the league.
This ball lifted high in the air out to right field. Chu looking up, and it is gone. That one didn't take long to get out. Seager's 23rd of the season. Makes it a 2-1 ball game.
Yeah, it's amazing. Every time we play the Mariners and I write out my lineup card, I write down what Seager's hitting, and today we write down 255. And you just think, you know, there's nothing about Kyle Seager, and we play them 19 times a year, that looks like a 250 hitter. And it seems like every time we play him, he doesn't hit like a 250 hitter. Here he gets a fastball inside part of the plate, keeps his hands in, gets the good part of the bat on the ball, and launches it into the seats. Seems like he should be hitting higher against everybody, not just the Rangers.
Well, very next pitch, a ground ball to short, and Valencia retired, 1 away here in the second inning. Seems like Seager is Babe Stinkin' Ruth when he faces the Rangers. Seager, his 21st career home run against Texas, and a guy hitting nearly 320 against the Rangers. How about that? 10 home runs in less than 60 games in this ballpark.
Yeah, he's a guy you ought to trade for just so he can't play against you anymore.
Well, he makes it a 2-1 game. And now Mike Zunino, who's been hitting the ball a lot better lately, puts that one down the third baseline, fair ball. And the carom out into left for Ryan Rua. He'll throw to second base, and it is not in time. Zunino in there with a double.
Zunino got on top of that fastball, but he hit it right on the barrel of the bat. He hit it solidly, and there's a look at it. And even though it lands in foul territory, the ground ball went over the bag in fair territory. The bag is fair territory. And that's why, because it was a ground ball, it ended up being a fair ball. If that was a line drive, it would have been a foul ball. But all a ground ball has to do is be fair when it goes by the bag.
So Zunino now at second base, and Guillermo Heredia, center fielder, batting 8th today, takes one inside from Hamels. Both teams with 3 hits in the early going. Big swing and a miss. It's 1-1. So the Mariners, 6 different players with at least 20 doubles. And, only 2 other teams who have more. The Astros and the Twins each have 7 players with at least 20 doubles this year. This Mariners team, they spread it out a little bit.
And Danny Valencia has 19, so it won't be long before the Mariners have 7 guys with 20 doubles. A couple of good changeups there by Cole Hamels, which I think is a key for him to keep the hitters off his fastball.
That fastball 92 miles per hour up and in. Evens a count of 2 balls and 2 strikes. Heredia against Hamels, 2 for 8 in his career with a walk. He is a guy, Heredia, who pads his on-base percentage by being hit by the pitch. He's been hit 11 times this year. And in fact, Hamels has hit him. And there are guys who do make that part of their their game, of course. Already the second 3-ball count of the night for Cole Hamels. Leading by a run and a swing and a miss. Heredia strikes out. Second strikeout of the night for Hamels.
There's the changeup. Obviously Heredia, 3 balls and 2 strikes, assumed it was going to be a fastball. That's the name of the game. The cat and mouse game between the batter and the pitcher. That time Cole came out on top.
So now with 2 gone, here is Ben Gamel. Left-handed hitter, and a breaking ball misses in. Gamel's been an important guy this year for the Mariners. 277 average on base, a couple of ticks better than league average as well for him. Chases that one. It's 1-1. Gamel, a big rookie contributor this year. He's third among all of Major League Baseball's rookies. 277 average, 22 doubles. You know, the season's so long that you get to the point where some guys you hardly even think of them as rookies anymore. And Gamel, one of those guys. Maybe it's just because we saw so much of him early in the year. But he's a good ball player.
Yeah, in the month of June, he had 42 hits. And that's Ichiro kind of territory, and he was leading the league in hitting way back then. It's come down a little bit, but still having a solid year.
2 balls and 2 strikes on him. Hamels tries to get him to go after that one, but he wouldn't take the bait. Full count now, another 3-ball count. Home run this inning by Kyle Seager. Zunino with a 1-out double. But Hamels 1 pitch away from getting out of this inning with the 1-run lead. Gamels stays alive. Not likely to walk too many left-handed hitters. That's a pretty decent ratio. And Gamel, not a guy real likely to necessarily take the walk. Only 33 of them this year in 115 games. And he swings and misses. 2 strikeouts in the second inning for Hamels, and 2 big ones. Gets him out of the inning. We played an inning and a half. Rangers by 1. Rangers and Mariners, but also want to invite you the finale rather, the Silver Boot Series. The Astros and Rangers, Monday the 25th through Wednesday the 27th. It's the final 3-game set between these two teams this year. You can get your tickets for the Silver Boot Series at TexasRangers.com or by calling 972-RANGERS. And those, of course, look, every game right now very meaningful for the Rangers. The Astros have had the division all but wrapped up for quite some time, but they're going to be meaningful games for the Astros too, as Odor fouls off strike one. Astros now suddenly in a dogfight for the best record in the American League. Looked like that was but a foregone conclusion, let's say 2 months ago.
Yeah, if the Astros don't start playing better, they're going to end up 5 or 6 games behind Cleveland. They've already seen the lead change, and Cleveland has a 1-game lead. Cleveland's winning 5-1 tonight, 7-0, as a matter of fact, in the 4th inning. There's a 1-game better Cleveland Indians than the Astros. And they're ahead 7-0. They've won 18 straight, on their way to 19 straight. Now, Seattle has to play Cleveland in about a week, or in about 10 days. They have a weekend series at home against Cleveland. By then Cleveland will have won probably 26 or 27 straight. The rate they're going right now.
Yeah, that's one thing when you start looking at the schedules for the other teams in the mix. That's certainly a series you circle as a meaningful one for the Rangers' scoreboard watching efforts. I would think Cleveland would have the advantage in that one. Certainly the way they're playing right now.
Well, you'd like to look at the schedule and say, okay, good. The Rangers have 7 more games against Oakland.
Ugh.
Except we remember what happened in Oakland and what Oakland just did to Houston. They just swept them 4 straight. So, you know, all of a sudden it doesn't look like it's that big a thrill to play the Oakland A's right now either.
No, I mean, there's something going on right now with the A's. In particular, it seems at their ballpark. When the Rangers got swept, that was in Oakland. And when the Astros just got swept, that was in Oakland. Right now, they're playing really well at home.
Well, they scored double digits against the Astros in 3 out of 4 games.
When you look at the remaining games on the Rangers schedule, everything in division, but a series against the Angels left, these 2 series against the Mariners, but then 2 against Oakland, and then the 3 games left against the Astros. Ryan Rua, 9th place hitter, batting with 1 out here in the 2nd inning. Rangers leading by 1. Rua, another guy who looks as if he's going to receive some significant time in left field and in the order every day. And there you see one of the reasons why. 5 hits in the last 7 at bats. That helps. And it's 3-0. The other thing, though, about Houston in their pursuit of the best record overall, they have not fared well against Boston. Neither have the Cleveland Indians this year. And one of them is going to be paired off against Boston, it would appear, in that first big series of the postseason. And that's why having the best record might be real meaningful to avoid them.
Yeah, if I'm Cleveland, I'm going all out to try to have the best record and avoid that series.
Well, another walk issued by Miranda. Rua at first, and the lineup turns over for Delano to Shields. The Astros, I believe, in the season against Boston, I want to say it's a 3-game series. Might even be a 4-game series against Boston. Could you imagine if they finished the season against Boston and then had to go right into a postseason series against them, especially the way they have played this year? That is not the way you design it. Delano shows bunt, drops it down the first baseline. Miranda off the hill, throws the first in time. That took an excellent play by Ariel Miranda to get the call at first. Delano can't believe it. He said, no way. Steve Buechele calling up into the clubhouse to take a closer look. Ooh.
Wow.
Man, That is about as close as you get.
You have to look. You have to look at it, but I don't know if it'll be overturned. That looked like the proverbial tie. But as they've said for 100 years, the tie goes to the runner. That's what we always said in the Little League.
Right. Golly.
Yeah, I don't know if it can get overturned.
The problem is it's so close that you wonder, man. I think that one's at least in the glove enough that they're going to probably uphold the call.
I think it's what we say a lot, that if Delino was called safe and Seattle questioned it, I don't think they would be able to overturn the safe call either. I think whatever way that was called is what it's going to stay.
Yeah, a gutsy challenge here for Jeff Bannister, and he doesn't like to look what he just saw on the scoreboard. Pretty clear. And the reason it's a gutsy call, because if you don't get this one, then you're done for the rest of the game. But when we talk about when the ball is caught, it's when it's hitting or contacting the interior of the glove or the hand. And
it's not when it goes into the glove, it's when it hits the glove, right?
Right.
Back of the glove.
We used to talk about, like,
that's tough to tell whether it's in the glove or whether it hit the back of the glove. I think he was safe, but I don't think it's going to get overturned.
It's taken a little while for the guys back in New York taking a look at this one. So who knows? Yeah, Delino's saying, hey, I don't know, maybe.
If I'm Delino, I'm feeling like I was safe.
Well, here we go. We're going to find out. Jeff Nelson, our crew chief,
says
yes.
The tie, there it is. The tie goes to the runner.
It's official.
And it was proven. Good. I didn't think it would get overturned, but I thought the call was right. He was safe.
How about that?
I like that call.
Jeff Bannister and Carlos Gomez are both saying, well, all right. Fair enough. They both believed that they probably weren't going to win that one. But the challenge goes the Rangers' way.
I think the easy call there is to say it's not conclusive. And the call stands. But I thought it was a gutsy call. It looked like it was a perfect tie. In which case he wasn't out.
So a bunt single for DeShields. I don't see how that swings this inning, because now you have 2 men on, 1 out, and your 2, 3, and 4 hitters potentially coming here. So already scored 2 runs in the first inning, trying to add to it. 2-0 from Miranda. So the command for Miranda, a little bit of an issue, rearing its head here in the first 2 innings. He walked Andrus in the first. Walked Rua this inning.
And it might have something to do with base runners, but Gene Segura is significantly on the other side of second base.
Boy, 2 got a hold of this one. Hit well out to left center field, and that one off the base of the fence. Rua is in with the shield speed. He's coming to the plate. Here comes the throw. Safe!
Wow. It doesn't get any more exciting than that. Watching one of the fastest guys in the league out-sprint the ball. Segura made a strong throw home. I didn't think Delino had enough time to make up the ground, but he closed right at the end with a beautiful head-first slide and just barely got his foot, his hand underneath the tag. It's a good relay throw, strong throw from Segura, and a beautiful slide underneath the tag. That was pretty.
And you cannot execute that much better than the Mariners did. But nice. You see the speed of Delino DeShields. And we've seen this on a couple of occasions this year where he single-handedly dominates a game or an inning with his feet. And that is pure electricity that he brings. 4-1 Rangers.
Shin-Soo again goes the other way. We mentioned how he can drive the ball out of the ballpark into the gap. We got a base hit when Segura was on the second base side of the bag. That time Segura was on the shortstop side of the bag. It might have something to do with the base runners. In any event, Shin-Soo continued to go the other way. and showed that power the other way by driving it into the gap and picking up a couple of runs. So 2 doubles, one by Chu, one by Mazzara, give the Rangers 4 runs.
Again, go back to that challenge by Jeff Bannister. A gutsy one and a very big one. Swings this inning in a significant way. The 1-0 to Andrews. And that's ball 6 because Andrews walked on 4 straight pitches in the first inning. Sees 2 balls here, and Miranda being very careful with the Rangers' best hitter. Chu off second. Got the borderline call there. Wow, Mariners already with Ryan Garten, the right-hander, working in their bullpen. Three and one. Mariners starters this month 4-0, 2.39 ERA. They've got 7 consecutive quality starts. This ball hit over shortstop, drops in, base hit, good read by Chu. They'll hold him at third base. The throw comes through. Andrus goes to second, and they got him there. Elvis trying to get that extra base, and he hardly feigns an interest in staying at second. Jeff Bannister calling back up into the dugout, though, just to make sure.
Gamble gets to this ball. Jason Wood has to hold Chu. The throw misses the cutoff man. Elvis sees that and takes off, but Zunino gets it to Cano quickly enough to get the out. Dave, you're talking about the Seattle starters in September. One of those starts that contributed to a low ERA was the last start that Miranda had. It's kind of an unusual line, to say the least. He pitched 6 innings. He only gave up 1 run. He's pitched 6 innings, didn't give up a hit, but he walked 6, and he was gone after 112 pitches. He had a no-hitter with 6 walks in 6 innings. That's a pretty amazing line.
And he'd given up the sac fly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
There
Look
it
at
is. That's the line. So that was 1 start, 1 run in 6 innings that contributed to a nice ERA in September. But I think you're walking on thin ice when you walk 6 guys. You don't give up 1 run.
And that was the start against the Astros and Justin Verlander, who was making his debut with the Astros. And there was a lot of attention and excitement around that game. He was more or less out pitching Verlander to that point of the game. And the Seattle fans booed when he came off.
Yeah,
because he had a no-hitter going.
Want to throw him 200 pitches? Well, the walks, I guess they're going at the same pace. He had 6 in 6 innings. He has 2 in 2 innings in this game. That time he had 6, and only 1 of them scored. Both walks have scored in this game. Elvis in the first and Rua in the second.
He misses on 4 straight to Nomar Mazara, puts him at first base, and keeps the inning going for Robinson Chirinos. And how about this? Scott Service.
Well, he's thrown 50 pitches, 24 strikes, and 26 balls. And if you're a pitcher in the 3rd inning and you've been touched up for 4 runs, 3 walks, and you've thrown more balls than strikes, you deserve to get the hook.
Wow, an inning and 2/3 tonight for Ariel Miranda. Ariel Miranda, 4-1 Rangers leading and still batting here in the second inning. Ryan Garten is the new pitcher.
The Garten came over at a trade with Tampa Bay. At AAA with Tampa Bay, he was pitching really well. 2-0 with a 1.64 ERA. In the big leagues this year, he struggled a little bit. He's pitched 11 times, given up 14 hits in 13 innings, and has a relatively high ERA in a short amount of innings.
Well, the first man he's going to deal with is Robinson Chirinos. And this was Robinson yesterday, helping extend his streak of getting on base. Wasn't there very long. Circled him. Chirinos' 17th home run of the year. Part of a 7-run effort yesterday that left them well short of the Yankees, but it was another good offensive day for Chirinos, and it's already been one here tonight as he singled in the first. So the Mariners starter Ariel Miranda done, an inning and 2/3, 6 hits, 3 walks, and a strikeout. And here's Garten. He gets Chirinos to foul that one off. What the Rangers have done since August 1st now. It's well over a month. The highest scoring offense in baseball. They get on more frequently than anybody else. Still hitting a lot of home runs, stealing a lot of bases. Strike called. It's 0-2 to Chirinos. Garten, one of those September call-ups from AAA Tacoma. And a bouncer, third base, deep behind the bag. Long throw for Seager, but it's in time to get Chirinos. The inning is done. Rangers, though, add 2 more. This time, the 2-run double. It was Shin-Soo Choo. And it's 4-1 Texas. Tonight, 4-1 as we head to the third inning. Our Kubota power stats. Cole Hamels working with the big lead early. And he has loved pitching here. 16-2 at Globe Life Park. Highest winning percentage in this ballpark's history. And a percentage that may well go up today. Should he continue to pitch well against a Mariners team while his offense continues to rack up runs. First pitch to Gene Segura. A little bit low, top of the order here. Segura, Mitch Haniger, and then Robinson Cano. 2-0. Hamels with 3 strikeouts already tonight, which has not been typical of this season for him. Segura saw 1 pitch in his at-bat in the first inning before flying out to right field. A little more patient this time. It's 2-1. Diaz walks the baseball out there, has a word with Hamels. We're talking earlier about strikeouts per 9 innings for Cole Hamels. Last year, nearly 9 per 9. This year, 5 3/4 strikeouts per 9 innings pitched. And he walks Segura, so puts the leadoff man on for free. All right, time for a Chevy game break. Let's send it back to Dana Larson.
Fellas, thanks. You were mentioning Cleveland earlier. In search of its 19th straight win, and the Indians jumping all over Detroit. Francisco Lindor with the bases clearing triple. Indians played 5 in that second inning and just continue to pour it on. It's a 7-0 lead in the 5th, guys.
Pretty crazy. I mean, I almost don't know how to explain it when a team gets on a run like that, because it shouldn't be possible in baseball. Really, no matter how good you are, you shouldn't be able to do that.
No, but if you're going to do it, it's going to be a team like Cleveland that has the best pitching in the league.
High fly ball down toward that left field corner, and that one is gone. Mitch Haniger sends one just over the wall in the left field corner, his 12th homer of the year, and he makes it a 1-run game.
I mentioned how hot Haniger's been. He ripped a double the first time up, came into the game 19 for 41. That's 463 for the average. 3 home runs, 9 knocked in 10 games. Now he's got a double, a home run, and a couple of knocked in right here. That's a changeup from Cole, but it comes inside, and I generally think Cole's going to try and throw his changeup down and away. But that one sailed across the plate on the inside part of the plate, and that's why Haniger was able to hit it right out of the ballpark.
Bouncing ball second base. Odor sets up and throws out Cano. 1 away.
But after your team scored 4 in the first 2 innings, you go back out. The last thing that Cole wanted to do was walk the leadoff hitter, and that was Segura ahead of Haniger's home run.
So back to a 1-run lead. Here is Nelson Cruz, who struck out looking. First of 3 strikeouts for Hamels tonight. And a breaking ball just misses outside. One and one the count. Cruz has been rather content to look at a lot of pitches in his first 2 at-bats here. Type of thing, though, you don't want him to coax you into a comfort level there, because he can do damage in a hurry. 1 and 2 the count. Not that Rangers fans need any reminders of that. Great numbers here in a Rangers uniform, and has continued to perform out in Seattle. 2 and 2 the count. Having a big year this year, leading the league with 107 RBIs, top 10 in the league in home runs, top 10 in the league in on base percentage.
He did the same thing for the Orioles before he went to Seattle.
Full count. So 1 out here, nobody on for Cruz, and Hamels, I won't say he's laboring, but this is his 5th 3-ball count already tonight. And it stays full on Cruz. We said at the open, if the Mariners and Rangers are going to get together here 7 times in 10 days, and you know Seattle's going to be a tough combatant. They have been this year, taking 8 of the first 12 head-to-head. If the Rangers indeed are going to make a big move, Hamels is going to have to really step into that ace role and dominate a little bit. They need a couple of big-time starts from him down the stretch.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Rangers are going to have almost an impossible time going to the postseason if that doesn't happen. That's not a secret. Cole Hamels knows that.
Three-two pitch and another foul ball. This will be the 9th pitch of the at-bat coming to Nelson Cruz. This one lined out toward right field. Chu into a dive, and he makes the catch. Great play by Shin-Soo Choo to rob one from Nelson Cruz.
Nice play by Shin-Soo. He got a nice jump, stayed with it, and watched it all the way into his glove. Nice play. Well hit ball by Cruz, who ropes this ball to right field, but Shin-Soo is there to take an extra base hit away from him. Nice play.
Third baseman Kyle Seager.
So 2 gone. We'll bring up Kyle Seager. Seager with a home run in the 2nd. This is his 23rd of the year. Haniger has hit one as well tonight for the Mariners. It's a 1-run game. Top of the 3rd inning. One and one. Well, we made a note of it after his at bat in the 2nd inning, but this is a guy who has been a really difficult out for Rangers pitchers in this ballpark in particular. And a pop-up back of second base should end it. Andrus is there, and the inning is done. A 2-run homer by Haniger gets the Mariners back to within 1.
Rangers leading the Mariners as we welcome you back to Globe Life Park in Arlington. It is Progressive Fan of the Game time, and I fell in love with this girl's style. It is her first Ranger game. Alex, 3 years old. You haven't had a chance to assess the team yet, but you haven't had a chance to sample the ballpark food. Come tell me, what's been your favorite food so far?
Good cheeses.
Okay, I think it was cotton candy. Is that right? Cotton candy. And then, two, you have learned one Rangers cheer, and what is it?
Go Rangers.
Go Rangers. She's got it down, guys. Progressive fan of the game. There you go, Alex. Good job, baby girl.
Yeah, love it. I thought I might have heard grilled cheeses in there too. Wow, big day. Come to the ballpark, might win a prize. And she did. 4-3, Rangers lead. And a breaking ball to Gallo in there for a strike. Gallo 0 for 1. Went down looking in the first.
Haven't seen Ryan Garten before, but so far it looks like he likes to throw his curveball.
Bouncer out into short right field. And Gallo put out 4-3.
The third baseman, Will Millbrooks.
Andrew Moore. His 9th appearance, another September call-up from Tacoma.
In fact, I haven't seen Ryan Garten before. I didn't even know it wasn't Ryan Garten.
That's easy, right? That's an easy thing for all of us. We've seen so little of all these guys.
I just assume a guy come in, pitch a third of an inning, he's going to stay in the game. I didn't even look at him.
What a perfect outing.
And Garten threw a curveball to Chirinos for an out. This guy threw a first pitch curveball over the top. Made sense to me.
That made sense to me too.
Okay, here's the test. When I said that, did you know I was wrong?
No, I absolutely did not. No, not until Dave Burchett, our all-star director, got in my ear and said, there's a new pitcher.
Oh, well.
And he strikes out Middlebrooks. I was with you. I thought, what? He does like that curveball.
Just never registered that 1/3 of an inning would be it. But that's how much we know. I guess in September, when you've got 12 or 13 guys out in the bullpen, you can do whatever you want.
And as we've seen, a lot of managers, especially in this division, are likely to use a lot of those guys. Mike Scioscia
set a record.
What did he use the other day? Was it 12 pitchers?
Yeah.
Craziness.
That even tests a bullpen in September with the call-ups.
Here is Odor, 0 for 1, flat out in the second inning. Rangers got 2 in the first, 2 in the second. And worth noting, the other thing there, Tom, is you don't expect to be looking at your third pitcher of the night in the third inning.
No, not unless it's 15-0.
How about that? Mariners use 61 different players this year, including 40 different pitchers. Now that's for the season, not so far tonight. Although, talk about shuffling the deck, and they've had to. They've had a lot of injuries, and the fact that the Mariners come into today 71 wins, 72 losses really is very impressive. It's a team a lot of people felt like had the potential to be a postseason team, and had they been healthy, they might well have made good on that promise, but they haven't been anywhere near healthy this year, and they just managed to keep it together and stay around. 3-2 on Odor. And he swings and misses, strike 3. So a couple of strikeouts for Andrew Moore, and it's a perfect third for him. We'll go to the 4th inning tonight in a 1-run game. By Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. By your local Texas Ford dealer. Ford is the best in Texas. And by USAA. Insurance, banking, and investments tailored for the military community. Well, still a one-run game. Rangers have led the whole way tonight. And out of the fourth inning, Danny Valencia, Mike Zunino, and Guillermo Heredia due for Seattle. Valencia with that ground out in the second inning. He's 0 for 1. Mariners with a couple of home runs today. And based on the pitching matchups, you would have expected the early home runs tonight to have been Rangers home runs, because Ariel Miranda, the starter for Seattle, had given up the most in the league this year, 35 of them. But Miranda couldn't get through the second inning. 1-1 pitch. That's
he didn't give up a home run today, but he gave up 2 long doubles. One off the top of the wall in right center field, and then Chu's ball in the gap. So they weren't long balls, but they were well hit balls for sure.
Breaking ball swung on and missed, and Valencia strikes out. 4th strikeout tonight for Hamels.
Yeah, nice curveball by Cole. Right where you want to keep it.
So now Mike Zunino had a double earlier. Healthy rip there for strike 1. Zunino's overall numbers there at the bottom of your screen. The average maybe a little lower than folks were expecting this year. He's in a whole 0-2. But the good power numbers, run production numbers for him. Former first-round pick out of Florida. And he has picked it up in terms of batting average lately, hitting .324 over the last 24 games. And that one low and in. He did not go. Ball 1 on Zunino.
Zunino spent a lot of time in the minor leagues going up and down the last few years. Big power guy. But I think he's made progress this year. Knocked in 31 runs in the month of June.
Two and 2. And he got off to another really slow start this year, but a couple of adjustments has turned it around nicely at the plate. The 2-2 pitch, and he stays alive. I mentioned the power numbers, though, have been decent for him. 21 home runs this year, and it's his second season of at least 20 home runs. He's the only Mariners catcher ever to do that. High pop-up back of second base. Odor ranging out there. The shield's coming in. So is Chu, and Chu gets there to make the play. 2 away. Hey, this Wednesday is Texas Chili Company Dollar Hot Dog Night. Rangers and Mariners, 3rd game of our 4-game series. Come on out to the ballpark. Enjoy ballpark hot dogs for just $1 each. Tickets still available at TexasRangers.com or by calling 972 Rangers. So 2 away in the 4th. Here is Heredia, who struck out his first time up. He takes one off the plate. 2-0 from Hamels. Hamels has walked 1. Been around that strike zone to get the 4 strikeouts. 20th start of the year for Hamels, and this one is lined down to first, and right there for it is Joey Gallo. Nicely done. Takes away a hit from Heredia and completes a 1-2-3 for Hamels. By the way, the Red Cross depends on financial donations to be able to provide disaster relief immediately. Help people affected by Hurricanes Harvey and Irma by visiting redcross.org or texting the word Red Cross to 90999 to make a $10 donation. All right, bottom of the fourth inning tonight. And Ryan Rua, 9th place hitter, will start things off. Moore out for a second inning of work. Goes the first one right in there for strike one. Been an up and down year for Rua. Swings through strike two, but had 3 hits yesterday against the Yankees. Also walked in the game, so was on 4 times. Scored a run. Today walked in the second inning and came around on the double by Chu. Two balls and 2 strikes. Rua 3 home runs, on base average a little over 300. Fouls that one back to stay alive. Overall, he's appeared in 50 games this year. This is his 32nd start. And at the beginning of the season, he was a regular starter against left-handed starters. Like the first 14 games against lefties, he had started. Lifts this one up in a short right field. Coming in for it is Haniger. 1 away.
Let's take a look at our AT&T high-speed replay. Dave, you were talking about the speed and the way it impacts the game with the lineup. He's going to beat out a bunt. On review, Shin-Soo doubles to deep left field. The Mariners execute the relay play almost perfectly, and it takes a mad dash and a perfect head-first slide. Watch Delino flying home as he sneaks under the tag of Mike Zunino to score the 4th run. That's exciting, and that's speed at its best right there.
Well, I know that the Chicks dig the long ball, but they gotta love that too, right?
I think so, yeah. They really dig it when you can hit the long ball and run like that.
Makes Adam Rosales like the king of kings. Okay, because he hits a home run and he does kind of circle the bases like that.
He does. Every home run he's ever hit looked like an inside the park home run.
He's awesome. Well, to Shields, 1 for 2 with that bunt single today. And in a hole here, a ball and 2 strikes. Fights that one off from Ryan Moore. First he has looked at Moore. Moore came in last inning. He's retired the first 4 batters he has faced, so he has done a nice job. A little bit low. Makes it count 2-2. This is just the 2nd time that the Mariners have used Moore in relief. He had been used once in relief. That was back in mid-August against the Angels. But it also been used as a starter. In fact, had gone 6 or more innings in 6 of the 7 starts that he had had. So they will maybe use him in long relief tonight. Yes, we might be seeing a whole lot of Andrew Moore. Not that managers are terribly concerned with conserving their bullpen at this time of year. You do whatever you can to win a ball game, and you have the expanded rosters, which makes a big difference. But you've got a guy who you've used as a starter, you've used a little bit in relief. And I'm guessing that Service feels like he can go long for him if he needs it. But Shields lifts this one high in the air, way deep to left field, and that one is gone.
What were we just talking about?
Chicks dig the long ball
and the speed.
Yes, indeed.
So there you go. In 4 innings, you've seen it all. Sprint from first to home and go deep. That's pretty good 4 innings right there for Delino.
Fifth home run of the year for DeShields, and it's a 5-3 Rangers lead.
He got his pitch. Fastball inside half of the plate. Nice short, quick stroke. Delino, I'm sure, doesn't fancy himself as a home run hitter, but that's his 5th of the year. When he gets his pitch, he's strong enough to do that.
385 feet out there to left. 2 fouls that one off. The count 0-2. Chu is 2 for 2 today against the left-hander. Now facing the righty. 0-2 pitch. And he spoils that one. We'll get another chance. Chu have been getting on base at a little better than a 360 average this year. That number going up just a touch. Bouncing ball, first base. Valencia is there. He'll take it himself. And that is out number 2. So Andrew Moore, 23 years old.
The shortstop,
The perfect 3rd inning. Now the home run this inning to DeShields, but trying to eat up some innings and hopes that his team can maybe chip away a little bit, get back in this game. It was a 2nd-round pick, a compensation round pick, I guess, in 2015. Began that year at short A Everett. I don't know if they're still the Aqua Sox or not. I assume they are. From Springfield, Oregon. At least he was born in Springfield, Oregon. More to North Eugene High School.
Elvis with 40 doubles, 20 home runs, and 20 steals, and the other shortstops who have done that.
That's an all-time list, right? I mean, those are the only guys ever. You can go back to 1980, the first time it ever happened with Robin Yount.
Turned on that one. Well, Robin Yount's in the Hall of Fame. Derek Jeter will be in the Hall of Fame. Nomar Garciaparra had a tremendous career. Alex Rodriguez had the statistics to be in the Hall of Fame. His off-the-field behavior may prevent that from happening.
Bouncer at 3rd base. Seager backs up half a step. And he'll throw out Andrews. The inning is done. But Delino DeShields adds to the Rangers' lead. His 5th home run of the year. And not much question about it. What else can he do tonight? 5-3 Rangers. tonight, and on this Patriot Day, USAA honors those who have served and all of our service members at home and abroad. September 11th, and Major League Baseball taking a moment of silence at every ballpark tonight. Nice presentation on the field earlier tonight, and one of the flags on the side of the caps tonight around baseball. Everywhere you look. Now Ben Gamel leading things off here in the 5th inning for the Mariners. They managed 3 runs, a solo home run in the 2nd, a 2-run homer by Mitch Haniger in the 3rd. They continue to have an answer for what the Rangers have done offensively. This one fouled away by Gamel, and it's 1-2.
Well, since Haniger hit the home run, Cole has settled down and retired 6 straight.
That's 4 strikeouts tonight. And Gamel lifts this one into short left field, and coming on, Rua, he'll make the catch, 1 away. Well, this week, take advantage of Ozarka Online Ticket Thursday. Rangers and Mariners wrap up this 4-game series. Tickets for all Thursday home games are half price in upper reserved, upper box, and Lexus Club Terrace. Just go to TexasRangers.com/specials and use the coupon code Ozarka to redeem this offer. One away here in the 5th inning, and the top of the order now, Gene Segura. He's been up there hacking today. Comes up empty on strike 1. He walked in the 3rd inning and scored a run, but also flied out in the 1st. Gets this one foul by third base. 0-2 the count. Segura came in with the average at 300. It's since dropped below that with his fly out in the 1st inning, but he was 10th in the league with that 300 average. On base, a 349 clip. And he swings and foul tips that one. Trinos couldn't quite squeeze it. Segura, a guy who's been swinging it well lately. He's hit safely in 9 of his last 10 games, and he hits this one foul again. Stays 0-2. One out here in the 5th. Mariners haven't had really a whole lot going in any one particular inning. Two pitch, and this one hit on the ground, second base, right to Rougned Odor. 2 away. So it brings up the hot hitting Mitch Haniger, and we'll see if Hamels tries something a little different this time with Haniger, who flashed a double in the 1st and then hit a big 2-run homer in the 3rd inning. You look at Haniger by month. Had a great April, and then it was a real struggle until lately. He takes strike 1. And he has been red hot here again in September now. 5-game hitting streak. 1-1 the count.
Haniger has been 21 for 43, just about a 500 average lately. But right before that, he went 6 for 53. So he was about as cold as you can get, and now he's about as hot as you can get. He's swinging it right now.
Yeah, that real cold stretch you're talking about was right at the end of July through the end of August. Well, that hot stretch has primarily been here in the month of September.
I noticed a couple of the Mariners wearing that flap over your to cover your face. as the season goes on, we've seen more and more guys wearing that. Used to be you'd only see a person that had been hit in the face with it. Now hitters are starting to use some common sense and put that, if you can feel comfortable with it and see the ball, I'd sure feel more comfortable up at the plate with it.
Well, Haniger was hit in the face in a pitch by Jacob deGrom earlier this summer. That was in late July. And in fact, he ended up on the disabled list for a while. Had a laceration on his face after the incident. Spent July 30th through August 19th on the DL.
Yeah, if I had been hit, I'd wear it, and if I was a teammate of someone who had been hit, I would definitely wear it. In fact, I'd wear it anyway. Just makes a lot of sense for safety reasons. But I'm sure it's a lot different. In the old days, well, if you go back in the real old days, players didn't even wear helmets. They just wore their hat. Then they had a helmet with no flap. And a lot of guys felt uncomfortable just having the flap over the ear. So I would think it would take some adjustment to get used to having that come across your face like that. But if you can get used to it, it just makes a whole lot of sense.
And it doesn't take too long to get used to new stuff like that. I mean,
I guess everybody's different, but
sure,
you wouldn't think so.
First time you do anything like that, you think, oh, there's no way. This is suffocating. I feel claustrophobic in this. And then about a couple of bats later, you probably forget you've even had it on there. 2-2. This one lined out to right field. He's 3 for 3. It was an 8-pitch at bat that time for Haniger. He just served that the other way.
Second baseman Robinson Cano.
Now you could tell guys that are hot and they're just hitting everything. Haniger, the first time up, ripped a double down the left field line on a pretty good fastball on the inside corner. And this time he takes a ball down and away, borderline strike, and hits it solidly into right field. And when you're covering the plate from off the outside part of the plate to the inside corner, then you're feeling pretty good and swinging the bat pretty well.
Another guy who's been swinging it well lately, Robinson Cano, although he's 0 for 2 in tonight's game, and didn't have a very good look at that one either.
Yeah, he's questioning whether it was a strike. I don't know how he would know whether it was a strike after he's leaning backwards like that.
Two out here in the 5th.
Foxtrax says it was a strike.
Ground ball up the middle. Diving stop. Odor goes to second, and they force out Haniger. Nice play by Rougned Odor. The inning is over. We're halfway there tonight. Rangers lead by 2. Nomar Mazara Take you back to the first inning. 2 men on, 1 out. That one nearly got out of here. He found the deepest part of the park, but got home the first 2 runs of the game.
That was just a nice job of hitting by Nomar. And you know, you can watch some of the swings he takes and where he hits balls, and as nice a season as he's having as a young player, you can also make a case he might not even be scratching the surface of what he's capable of. He'd seen a couple of off-speed pitches right before that fastball, which was up and in from a left-hand pitcher at 92 miles an hour. I'm sure Miranda thought that he executed the pitch successfully. And Nomar still ripped it almost out of the ballpark.
One and 2 the count. He's been on both times tonight. Walked the second time up. In fact, did not see a strike in his second at bat. It was that walk that was the end of the evening for Ariel Miranda. The left-hander left after just an inning and 2/3. Two and 2. Andrew Moore has come on in relief. In fact, the second relief pitcher today. Ryan Garten got 1 out, and then Andrew Moore came in for a clean third. Give up the home run to Delino DeShields in the 4th inning, and now trying to add another inning to the ledger tonight. And that is off the plate. It's a full count. Mazara now with 93 RBIs. And spoils another one. Really good at bat here to start the bottom of the 5th inning. He's piled on the walks this year, 53 of those. 7th pitch of the at bat. And he bounces it back to the mound. Moore grabs it. Easy lob over to first, 1 away here in the 5th inning. Time for a Chevy game break. So back once again to Dana Larson.
Dave, thanks. The White Sox looking to play the role of spoiler against the Royals, who have the same record as the Rangers. Yohan Moncada up to the task. Opposite field RBI base hit. Also a triple for him on the night. Chicago with a 5-0 lead in the bottom of the 4th.
Well, there's another team, Tom. Every time I look up, the Rangers need a little help. They get somebody else right there in the middle of this race. The White Sox are playing them, and playing them well. They seem to have helped the Rangers on a few occasions.
Yeah, you know, the White Sox, the A's, teams like that are way out of any type of postseason race. They have nothing to lose. They're playing relaxed, playing the role of a spoiler. Young kids are getting called up, getting opportunities, trying to make a name for themselves. The A's have a lineup filled with young players now to go along with Chris Davis, one of the best power hitters in the league, and they're scoring a lot of runs right now.
This ball hit sharply down to third base. Seager has time to get control of it. Going across the diamond to get Chirinos. 2 away.
First baseman, Joey Gallo.
And here comes Joey Gallo. So Morris retired 8 of the 9 batters he has faced. The only guy he did not get was DeShields. DeShields got him on that big home run, adding to the Rangers' lead. Moore's evening started with Gallo in the 3rd inning. Gallo 1 for 8 so far in this homestand, and you can make it 1 for 9. This medium deep fly ball to left ends a 1-2-3 inning for Andrew Moore. We'll go to the 6th inning tonight with the Rangers up by 2. lovely night tonight here at the ballpark. And enjoying each other's company. Hey, take advantage of Fox Sports Southwest $10 Tuesday tomorrow night. Tickets for the Mariners-Rangers game, just $10, and fans can add on a $10 meal when purchasing online. Go to TexasRangers.com/specials to secure your $10 Tuesday tickets for tomorrow night using the coupon code FSSW10. Well, Cole Hamels, Rangers needed a big start from him tonight. So far, he has delivered, working with a 2-run lead, and goes after Nelson Cruz here in the 6th inning. It'll be Cruz, Kyle Seager, and Danny Valencia. Cruz 0 for 2 so far tonight. Last time up, hit what looked like a sinking liner to right field, and Chu, ranging to his left, went into a dive to haul it in for the 2nd out of the inning. One of the big defensive plays of the game tonight. Bouncer at third base, and just foul, according to our third base umpire, Corey Blazer.
Pretty close.
Yeah, really close. Blazer's gotten some good reps on those close high bouncers over third tonight. Not an easy call for an umpire. The 1-2 pitch. That's high. 2-2 the count.
Good try by Cole. He's trying to pound that cut fastball on the inside part of the plate. There's his line. Starting the 6th inning. Giving up a couple of home runs in the game. But only one base runner in the last half since the home run by Haniger. Only one base runner, the single by Haniger. Throwing a lot of strikes. 57 strikes out of 86 pitches.
Two on the way. And it's a full count. Another long at bat for Nelson Cruz. He saw 9 pitches in that at bat in the 3rd inning when he lined out. This will be the 7th pitch of this at bat. And he strikes out swinging. 2nd time that Hamels has punched out Cruz tonight. 1 away.
3-2 pitch. Not a fastball. That was a little bit out in front of it. Curveball. Nice curveball.
Well, brings up Kyle Seager. Seager had one of the 2 home runs tonight for the Mariners, and he takes strike 1. He's also popped up. So Hamels about to pitch, or rather throw his 90th pitch of the night. And he gets another strike call. 0-2. .33-year-old left-hander. He has pitched in a lot of big games in his career. A career that began with the Philadelphia Phillies. Took him to the postseason a number of occasions. Maybe the biggest game he pitched in a Rangers uniform a couple of years ago here. 3-hitter. A complete game victory over the Angels on the final day of the regular season to win the division title. 2-2 the count now on Seager. Saw his postseason numbers. Yeah, there you go. 7 wins, 16 starts in the postseason. Knows a thing or two about big game pitching, and the 2-2 pitch, that one off the plate. Full count. Yeah, there's another strikeout. Back-to-back Ks here in the 6th inning.
I threw Seager a couple of curveballs to get ahead in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. They threw him some cut fastballs. Couldn't get him to swing at a couple of them slightly out of the strike zone. And then he puts him away with a good fastball in the outside corner. Threw it by him. 2 up, 2 down, 2 strikeouts here in the 6th inning. 94 pitches for Cole. Settling down nicely after the 2-run homer that Haniger hit in the 3rd inning.
So now goes to work on Danny Valencia, who's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. 5-3, Rangers leading. One and one. Hamels 4 pitches shy of 100 now tonight. So Tony Barnett has picked up the baseball out of the bullpen. Based on what we have seen lately, this may well be the final inning for Hamels. Line drive center field on for DeShields. It'll have to take it on a hop. And that's a pretty nice stop.
He just smothered that thing. Once he realized he wasn't going to be able to catch it, he said to himself, well, I've got to keep it from going by me. I'm going to do it any way I can. I'm not going to try to catch it. I'm just going to block it the best I can. He just slaps his glove down on top. And ended up he did catch it. Hard hit ball by Valencia. Aggressive play by Delino, who wasn't able to catch it but still stopped it. Still only a single.
So Valencia aboard, and here is Zunino, who had a double in the 2nd inning, and a breaking ball up and away. Hamels talking about some of his success with the Phillies and with the Rangers. You see he's right on his average in terms of numbers of pitches in an outing this year. But no Phillies pitcher in their long history has more postseason victories than Hamels' 7 wins. In fact, he had a stretch there very consistent with the Phillies, and they had so many great pitchers on those staffs it took them to a handful of World Series. Well, he was so consistent, though. Double-digit victories 6 straight years. Joining 3 other Phillies pitchers is the only ones to have accomplished the feat. Runner goes. And the throw down a second, not in time. Valencia with his 2nd steal of the season.
Valencia pretty much has a running lead right there. That's about as nice a jump as you can get. Late slide, though. Oh, he's lucky he didn't break his leg. He slid way too late. I'm not sure what he was thinking. Maybe going to go in standing up. Instead, with about 2 feet to go, he just went right straight down on the bag. Luckily, he's probably feeling it a little bit, but seems to have avoided major injury.
Zunino's really turned things around this year. Talked about it a little bit his last time up, but that average continuing to climb. He's going to get it into a pretty respectable range if he continues at this pace. Swing and a miss, and that strikeout. 3rd of the inning for Hamels. He strikes out the side in the 6th. The big game for the left-hander, and he preserves the 2-run lead. Struck out Nelson Cruz. Got Kyle Seager as well, and punched out Zunino. Cole Hamels through 6, and the Rangers lead at 5-3. the Sonic Slam inning, brought to you by Sonic Drive, and our jackpot today, $600. Ken Sadler of Burleson, hoping the Rangers hit him a home run. That would get him $600. If it's a grand slam, he'll win an additional $25,000. Good luck. As we get going here in the bottom of the 6th inning, 5-3. Rangers on top. Bottom third of the order, Middlebrooks, Odor, and Rua due against Andrew Moore. Gets ahead 0-2. Moore out for his 4th inning of work in relief. As he gets Middlebrooks here. Middlebrooks 0 for 2 so far tonight. He has to start at third base. So one guy out of the lineup today for the Rangers was notable was Mike Napoli. And we have not seen that very often this year against a left-handed starter. This one lined out to right. And Middlebrooks lines out for the first out of the inning. There's Napoli.
The second baseman.
Nicely hit ball by Will Middlebrooks. A line shot. It's carried too far. Thought it might be a base hit to right off the bat. Just kept on going. Hit it too hard.
And so here is Odor. That swing to the first pitch, pops it up foul. Might be playable for Zunino, and it is. 2 away. There are a lot of things that are difficult on the field. To me, that the catchers pop up like that, that's got to be chief among them.
I'm just amazed at how many they catch as opposed to how many they miss. Very seldom do you see a catcher miss a pop-up. Zunino had to stay with that one. Sometimes they go up and the spin makes them come back down toward home plate. But in the daytime with the sun and the wind and you're back to the plate, the ball straight up coming down, it just looks like it'd be so much harder than they make it look. In the old days, when the players used to take infield practice, the coach who hit the infield practice, hit the fungos in the infield practice, at the end would always try to hit the catcher a sky-high pop-up. And some of the guys were really good. They could hit them straight up, come down right on top of home plate to give the catcher good practice before the game.
Well, that's a quick bottom of the 6th inning. Andrew Moore cruising as we head to the 7th.
Summary, and we're going to take a look at the night that Cole Hamels had. Probably one of the better curveballs that he's had in his last 4 or 5 starts. He gave up a couple of home runs, but after the second one, he settled down, retired 12 out of 14, 4 of them on strikes, gave up a couple of singles for the game. 3 runs on 6 hits and goes 6 innings, throws right around 100 pitches, and ends up with a nice solid outing. Finished strong, which is exactly like you'd like to see him do it.
Well, he did a great job. Leaves with the Rangers in front by 2, and Matt Bush back on the mound for the Rangers tonight, and great to have him back. Jeff Bannister excited to be able to go to a guy like Matt Bush out of that bullpen. Been on the disabled list since banging heads with Joey Gallo on a pop-up here 2 homestands ago.
Well, you were down there, I think, Dave, at the press briefing a couple of days ago, and one of the reporters asked Jeff Bannister, how will you use Matt Bush when he's ready to come back? And generally, when you ask that question, it's earlier in the season, and the coach or the manager will say, I'm going to ease him back in. I'm going to get him into a comfortable couple of comfortable situations until he's ready, and then he'll assume his old role. Jeff Bannister right off the bat said, I'm going to put him back in the exact role he had before he got hurt. We don't have enough time left to work him back in. We need his arm out there, and by the looks of this game, 2-run game in the 7th inning, that's exactly how he's using Matt tonight.
1 pitch to Heredia. He's popped over to the right side, fouling out of play. Throwing a knee brace now. Bush in that collision, that was August 20th, game against the White Sox. There was a concussion suffered by both Bush and Gallo, but it was an MCL sprain on his right knee that really has forced the timeout, and he wears a brace on it now. And they've just been working to try and get him comfortable, or comfortable enough that he feels like he can push off the mound, be stable when he comes down the hill after the delivery. The arm's fine. The concussion symptoms have long passed. It's really just a matter of that knee. And so they've braced it for now, just to kind of nurse him through some things here. 2-2, fouled away. Bush was technically activated from the disabled list yesterday, but not used in that game, not needed. He gets ready to lift one back of second base. Odor is right there and puts it away. 1 out here in the 7th inning. So that's good news about Matt Bush. More good news hopefully coming up shortly as we check in with Emily Jones.
Yeah, the bullpen almost back to full strength, just waiting on Keone Kela. He threw a bullpen today. He'll be evaluated tomorrow. The plan is for him to throw another bullpen on Thursday, and after that he would need to face live batters, whether it be live BP here or over at Instruct. So more news on him should be coming tomorrow.
Yeah, if they can get Kela back and healthy, that could be a huge key down this stretch. Ground ball second base, 2 quick outs here in the 7th. You look at some of the key men who are down. Beltran not likely to be coming back here in the regular season. Gomez, we don't know. As a high ankle sprain on Saturday. It's not good, but he'd rather not discount the possibility of him coming back. And Keone Kela very close with that shoulder that's been bothering him now for quite some time. Kela, the one who is eminently to return and will have an immediate impact for this team in that bullpen.
Well,
Two and 0. Segura had the walk in the 3rd inning and scored a run. Bouncer back to the mound off of Bush. And this one glancing over to shortstop. Elvis will have no play. That's one of the things Bush said was, I'm going to stop trying to make plays on the infield. Not like that, but on pop-ups, because the pop-up was what got him into trouble. Play he normally makes right there.
it's a hard one hopper, not to the glove side. Matt had to reach kind of back to the other side. Got the glove on it, but couldn't catch it.
One error. It continues the inning for Mitch Haniger, who is 3 for 3.
Well, that's a tough error. I mean, I'm sure Matt would say he'd like to catch that ball. Maybe he might even say he should have caught the ball, but still kind of hard shot. One hopper, not on your glove side. Had to reach back for it. You're pretty close to the hitter. I might lean toward the base hit on that, but if you're the pitcher, you're not going to argue with the call, even though the error goes to you.
1-1 on Haniger.
I guess the one guy that would argue would be Segura, the guy that hit it. I don't really care what he thinks, though.
Stop me if you've heard this one before, Tom, but Mitch Haniger's a triple shy of the cycle, and he bounces this one foul for strike 2.
I've just been really impressed with the way he swung the bat tonight. Talked about him the last time up, how he ripped a double on a pitch inside and then stayed with the pitch down and away a little bit off the plate and hit it to right field. So he's hit all pitches, all sides of the plate to all fields in this game.
He does have 2 4-hit games in his career, both of them this season. And Segura over there at first base with 2 out. Top of the 7th. Rangers lead by 2 in a very important game tonight. Important for both these teams. Fouled away. Haniger does have 2 triples this year. Mariners have triples now in 3 of their last 4 games too, so they're not out of the question. 1-2 pitch, and he swings and misses, strike 3. First strikeout tonight for Matt Bush, and it remains a 2-run Rangers lead. Time to stand and stretch. Time for God Bless America as well, as we give you Chuck Morgan.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. Will you please rise and direct your attention to the area behind home plate, and welcome back from the Fort Worth Police Department, Corporal Oliver Hill. In honor of all the veterans who have served our country and the servicemen and women who are currently stationed home and around the world, Corporal Hill will now perform God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
leading the Mariners by a score of 5-3 as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. Delino DeShields back up to the plate, and the 1-2 punch at the top of the Rangers order is the subject of tonight's State Farm winning combination. When you look at Delino and Chu in those 1 and 2 spots, they've got an on-base percentage of .358 coming into tonight, and their goal collectively before every game, they tell each other, between the two of us, let's get on base 6 times. So they're more than halfway there. They've got 4 times on base tonight, scored 3 runs and 3 RBI. So that 1-2 punch accomplishing their goals here tonight, guys.
Well, thanks, Emily. Those are lofty goals. 6 times a game, but they have lately seemed to have either gotten out or gotten very close on a nightly basis. Bouncer third base. Seager's been busy, and he throws out DeShields, 1 away in the 7th inning. Andrew Moore needed just 8 pitches in the 6th inning, and he has now retired 9 in a row. Take a look at Chu here, who is 2 for 3.
Yeah, since Andrew Moore came on in the 3rd inning, he's only allowed 1 base runner. That was the home run that, as you mentioned, Dave, that DeShields said. He's been really good. Getting an extended look right here. 60 pitches into his 5th inning.
One strike offering, bounced foul, and it's 0-2. Moore, we mentioned earlier, just 23 years old. Not a big guy, 6 feet tall, 195 pounds. Just misses inside. And played his college ball at Oregon State, 2013 to 2015. All Pac-12 as a junior in 2015. Drafted and very quickly to the big leagues. Check swing, and 2 did not go. It's 2-2. Good about here by Chu to work the count full. Elvis Andrus waiting on deck, 1 out, bottom of the 7th. Rangers lead by 2. Moore works quickly, and he strikes out Chu swinging. And that is just the 2nd strikeout. Pardon me, the 3rd. Yep, never mind. I'm going to stop counting. I can't do it, so I give up. 4 strikeouts.
I'm going to go with 4.
You know what? I was back to giving those strikeouts to Garten back in the 3rd inning.
Well, I don't blame you. That's what I said. I said he was pitching.
2 away. Or so I'm told. Andrus has reached a couple of times today. Well, Tom, little update on our out-of-town scoreboard. How about Cleveland now? They're up 11-0 in the 9th inning.
Man, what a team. They're playing like the Dodgers were playing earlier in the year.
Speaking of streaks. 1-1 to Andrus.
That's Carlos Carrasco pitching tonight. He's going for his 15th or 16th win tonight.
This one popped foul. Zunino gives it a look, but nothing there for him. Carrasco went 6 shutouts, struck out 9 in that one. Has turned it over to his bullpen. Just amazing what that team is doing, though. Near miss, and that evens the count at 2-2 on Elvis. And you mentioned the way the Dodgers were going, and they're playing tonight in San Francisco. They've lost 10 in a row. Line drive, caught it, second base.
What a nice job of hitting.
Man. Andrus probably the best swing he's had, but it goes for an out, and it's a 1-2-3-7. out here at Globe Life Park. Rangers with a 5-3 lead. Very important game against these Mariners. We invite you to come on out to the ballpark. A throwback Thursday this week. Rangers and Mariners in the final game of this divisional matchup. First 10,000 fans will get a Papa John's Texas Rangers Throwback Thursday collector pin. And the pin this time honors Pudge Rodriguez on his induction into the Hall of Fame. You can get your tickets at TexasRangers.com or by calling 972-RANGERS. Who knows? You might even bump into that guy around the ballpark. You're out here. Jake Diekman has come on for the Rangers. Take a look at his forward pitch arsenal.
Yep, we talked about that arsenal from Jake the other day. 2 pitches, fastball, slider. But it's a good fastball, mid-90s fastball, and a sweeping slider at 83 miles an hour. Not a real day at the beach for a left-hand hitter to face him.
On right field, Jared Hoying has come on. Only defensive change this inning. So Diekman, third pitcher of the night. Good job by Matt Bush and his return to the bullpen. And Diekman right in there with strike 1. Cole Hamels went 6 strong, struck out 7 today. Allowed 3 runs on 6 hits.
Yeah, I thought Cole had better life on his fastball. Looked like he had a little bit better velocity, and his changeup was good, but it looked like his curveball was probably better today than it has been in his last 4 or 5 starts. All in all, it looked like a real solid performance. Take away the 2-run homer by Haniger, and the numbers would have looked better, but as far as 6 innings and 100 pitches worth of good stuff, he had it tonight.
Yeah, I think the other thing about that's so nice is that was a real point of emphasis this week for Cole Hamels. Doug Brocail and Hamels focused almost exclusively on that curveball, been trying to make some adjustments and get that back as a real strong pitch in the repertoire, and it was.
It sure was.
Up high, 3-1 to Robinson Cano. All right, it's final time. 11-0 Indians won tonight.
It's one thing to win 19 straight, or is it 18?
Yeah, 19 now.
19 straight, but man, 11-0.
They're absolutely punishing teams on this streak. Full count on Robinson Cano. They have outscored teams, I think it might be 100 runs.
Yeah, I think it
in
is.
These 19
like,
games.
Like 130 something to 30 something.
Three-two pitch inside, and Cano will take his base, so he walks to open the 8th inning. All right, how about it? The big story. There's no question it has been the Cleveland Indians. There you go, 132 to 32. Whoa.
Right at 100 runs.
Only the 5th time in Major League history we've seen a 19-game win streak. What's amazing to me is that the New York Giants in 1916 won 26 in a row. What?
Well, tomorrow Cleveland will go for their 20th in a row, and Corey Kluber will be on the mound. He's 15-4.
I almost feel like you have a good chance with him going, and with him putting up about 11 runs a game. Jeez. Nelson Cruz had a frustrating night so far. A couple of strikeouts and a line out. He is 0 for 3. He bats with a man on, nobody out here in the 8th inning. And this likely to be the most crucial stretch in this game now. Rangers with the small lead and the biggest hitters in this Mariners lineup up. Diekman, little high to Cruz. Mark Zimczynski getting loose for Seattle. So we may see him in the bottom of the 8th inning. Diekman has been a marvel since coming back. Has pitched really well. He's worked in 4 games. This is 5th. 4 shutout innings coming into tonight. Came off the disabled list on September 1st. Opposing hitters so far 0 for 12. And there's a strikeout of Nelson Cruz. So you can make it 0 for 13. 1 out here in the 8th inning. Time for a Chevy game break. Let's send it back once again to Dana Larson.
Dave, thank you. Yankees and the Rays squaring off at the home of the Mets. Of course, the Rays displaced by Hurricane Irma. Todd Frazier doesn't care which ballpark he hits it out of. That's his 24th, a 3-run shot, and New York is up 5-1 as they play on in the 9th, guys.
And there's another team that's starting to look like they could get on a roll. The Yankees. Saw that offense get going here at Globe Life Park yesterday. And this is looking at that offense, looking at the lineup and the numbers on a day-by-day basis.
Yeah, the key for them will be if Aaron Judge hit a couple of home runs against the Rangers in that final game. If he gets hot again, then they really become formidable.
Oh, 2. Dickman with a strikeout of Cruz. Now trying to dispatch of Kyle Seager. Just his 5th game back this year. Oh, 2 pitch. Inside. Diekman had missed all of this season until September 1st on the 60-day disabled list. Had 3 surgeries to replace his colon and an internal reservoir in order to relieve that ulcerative colitis condition. And that, you know, it's kind of hard to appreciate what all that really means. I mean, that's a lot of work. 3 internal surgeries. And a swing and a miss. Strike 3 gets Seager. 2 strikeouts here in the 8th inning.
That's pretty nice work right there. Walk the leadoff hitter and then come back and strike out Nelson Cruz and Kyle Seager. There's that sweeping slider, tough to lay off of. Jake's right foot steps toward first base a little bit, which hides the ball and makes it tough to pick up. If you're a left-hand hitter trying to hit that mid-90s fastball and then that big slurve of a breaking ball, you can see how tough it is when you saw that swing by Kyle Seager. Here's a look at him. Watch his front foot, how it goes over toward first base just a little bit. And it makes his back come toward the plate and allows the hitter to pick up the ball much later than normal. If you come straight at the hitter with your glove down, he sees the ball right away. But when you turn your body a little bit and your glove goes up, the ball comes out late and it's tougher to pick up.
I saw some pitches this inning. This will be his 18th. He walked Cano. And strikeouts of Cruz and Seager. 2-0 pitch. And Valencia takes strike 1. Valencia struck out in the 4th inning against Hamels. 1 for 3. The story of 2017, at least to this point, has been the Rangers bullpen. Caused them a lot of troubles earlier in the year. They settled down nicely in this second half of the season. Now getting Jake Diekman back. Yesterday got Matt Bush back. Keone Kela could be back shortly. Bullpen getting stronger at a very critical time of year. There's Keone. They're working hard to nurse that right shoulder back to full strength. Fouled away. It's a full count now on Valencia. Now, I was starting to say earlier, Tom, the thing about this series here, 7 of 10 against Seattle, I don't think it's going to do anybody any good to go about even in this thing. Somebody has to take control and put a whooping on the other one.
Yeah, I think I would agree with you. There's just not enough games left to keep winning one and losing one. You got to get 4 or 5 games over 500.
So far, a good start to this one. The 3-2 pitch, and that just missed. Valencia draws the walk. So second walk in the inning, issued by Jake Diekman.
Catcher Mike Zunino.
That was awfully close, no? Well, here comes Doug Brocail.
That definitely could have been a strike. Borderline pitch, although it appeared that borderline pitch was a little bit closer to something favoring the pitcher. But didn't go Jake's way, and now you've got to get Zunino right here.
Tony Barnett loosening again in case he's needed. Cano is at second, Valencia at first base for Seattle. The tying runs are on for Mike Zunino, who is 1 for 3. Diekman's first pitch, and there's a bouncer foul. So Zunino up there hacking. Mariners so far tonight 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position. This ball hit sharply down to third base. Middlebrooks goes to second. The inning is over, and 2 are left. So Diekman puts up a scoreless 8th, and the Rangers still lead by 2. Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. And by AT&T Internet. Visit AT&T.com/keep calm to learn more. Well, this has been a great one so far tonight. A Monday night here at Globe Life Park, and the Rangers with the 2-run lead. We're at the bottom of the 8th inning. Nomar Mazara, Robinson Chirinos, Joey Gallo are due. Mazara as the DH today. He was involved in a little collision in yesterday's game. I went up to him today. I said, hey, how's the leg? And his response was, which one? Because he had been having some trouble, we noticed, in Atlanta with his left quad. Been slowing him down. And yesterday hurt his right leg in a collision with Odor. And turns this one foul, the count 0-2. So it was a good day today to get him off his feet a little bit. And let him DH. This was yesterday. A little pop up. Whoop. The good news is everybody is okay today. A swing and a miss. Mazara strikes out to start the 8th.
Pretty nifty relief outing for Andrew Moore, starting his 6th inning of work. Still has only given up the 1 base runner. That's the home run to Delano DeShields for the 2nd security run for the Rangers. Other than that, they haven't done anything against him. No walks and 5 strikeouts now. I have to think Andrew Moore might be working his way right into the late season rotation with this relief outing. He's only thrown 74 pitches.
I've occasionally seen a pitcher or two getting up in their bullpen. Every time it happens, I wonder, well, why? This guy's been pretty good, and it's 1-1.
He must be pretty deceptive. He's not overpowering with velocity. His fastball in the low 90s. But he must have a little deception in his delivery and good assortment of pitches other than his fastball. Changeup. He's having a good night.
It's almost like a spot start for him today, or it'll feel more like one of those piggyback outings for a guy, but he had made 7 starts for the Mariners prior to tonight. Just a couple of relief outings. Well, you think that's about as tough a role as you can get. Starting, relieving, back and forth as Chirino strikes out swinging, back-to-back Ks in this 8th inning. He's made it look easy tonight, though.
First baseman, Joey Gallo.
So tomorrow, game 2 of our 4-game series in our AT&T matchup. Again, features some great offensive forces. How about Nelson Cruz leading all of Major League Baseball with 159 home runs since 2014. Elvis Andrus 6th in the American League with that average at 306 coming into play tonight.
And for Andrew Moore, looking at his line before this game started, he'd given up 11 home runs in 44 innings. So he was getting bombed before this game. But getting back in good graces with the performance tonight.
Three and 0. Now it's Claudio. Looks like he's ready to go. Strike on Joey Gallo. It'll be the 8 and 9 hitters for Seattle, then back to the top in the 9th inning. Currently a 2-run game, and the runs came early in this one tonight. And there's ball 4. Gallo walks. First time he has reached in tonight's game. Gallo now with 70 walks on the year. He is about to take the team lead in that category.
Yeah, Chu has been funny because in his last 19 or 20 games, he's hitting well over 300. He has a couple of more hits tonight, including a 2-run double. But he's only walked once in his last 19 starts. So he's swinging the bat great, just not walking at the same rate that he was. Joey Gallo's on the verge of overtaking him.
Well, Middlebrooks 0 for 3 today. Grew up right nearby. Grew up a huge Rangers fan, and been a thrill for him to put on the Rangers uniform and perform here in the big leagues and playing in some real meaningful games. Today's made some good plays too down at third base. .273 average coming into play. Moore's 2-strike pitch, and he strikes him out swinging. Man. So Moore strikes out the side in the 8th inning. We go to the 9th. Last chance for the Mariners coming. Alex Claudio heading in the game.
Mariners ever since they take this 2-run lead into the top of the 9th. Hi there, Dana Larson, along with Mike Bassick and the very fast Pudge Rodriguez. You're almost as fast as your player to watch, Delino.
Well, he's doing a good job. I mean, 2 for 4, 2-run score. You know, I told you, speed kills. So he's doing a good job with a home run to left field. Great job from him.
I feel bad. I talked too much in the pregame to get the player to watch on the television. But I tell you what, we'll talk about Cole Hamels and how he settled down in the middle innings and really had a nice start tonight for the Rangers.
We'll make good on all of that and so much more coming up on the post-game edition of Rangers Live, presented by Frontier Communications. We'll have reaction, of course, from the skipper in the clubhouse. Look ahead to tomorrow. Get you caught up on all the wild card action. So please join me, Mike, Pudge.
And your Denver Broncos is winning.
Yes, they are. All that and so much more coming up right after the game, guys.
All right, thanks, Dana.
Pudge must have had a golf cart to get back up there, because I looked down in the owner's box. He was sitting there chatting with Neil Liebman about a half an inning ago. That's a long walk. I'm guessing he didn't walk. After all, he is Pudge.
He is Pudge, but he is everywhere.
There's our Ford pitch arsenal for Alex. A sinker, a really good changeup, and an occasional slider. Usually the slider comes to the left-handed hitter, not as much to the right-hand hitter. You see Matt Bush come in for the 7th inning, throwing in the mid-90s. Jake Diekman come in the 8th inning, throwing in the mid-90s, and then Alex Claudio comes in to save it, throwing a 71-mile-an-hour changeup. He's been a savior for the bullpen this year.
1-2 pitch and a ground ball, third base. Backhand by Middlebrooks, and in time to first, although Joey Gallo got caught in that collision. It's always so dangerous.
That's the most dangerous thing for a first baseman. You know, if you catch the ball early enough, then you can kind of give with the runner and turn with the runner. Joey didn't have that luxury that time. He caught the ball just as the runner got there, and it caused a significant collision with his left arm. He just didn't have a time to spin with the runner and get the glove out of the way. He has to come straight down, and as he does, runner going full speed runs into his very vulnerable left arm. There's been a lot of serious injuries caused by that exact same play.
You know, looking at those replays, the one thing you're most concerned about is jamming that wrist into the oncoming runner. It looked almost like the bill of the helmet hit him in the back of the hand, and that was his initial reaction. And I kind of hope that that's all it was. I think that's what. Ooh, look at that! Might have even broken the skin just a little bit there. But in any case, the good news was I don't think that it got jammed. Let's see again. Hard to tell much from that angle. All right, now a pinch hitter here. Ruiz steps in. There we go.
Hit him right off the top of the head, it looked like. Drop that changeup in there.
Carlos Ruiz, you look at the numbers there in the 48 games so far this season. And he takes inside. 2-1 the count. Ruiz a right-handed hitter. It's this one on the ground, third base. Diving stop, Middlebrooks. And another nice play. 2 down.
That got the fans on their feet. That was a beautiful play. Not shading over toward the line in a 2-run game, so he's playing about where he normally would play, Carlos Ruiz. But Ruiz hit a shot to his left, and he dives and makes a nice play on it. Gets up quickly, and this time nice accurate throw over first base.
2 gone, and Gene Segura, last man standing for the Mariners. 20,686 here tonight. Right down the middle, 1-1. Claudio looking for the save. And the Mariners down to their final strike. Now, we knew it'd be a big series. An important game for the Rangers to try and take this first one from Seattle and get back to a game over 500. The 1-2. Got him swinging.
Yes, he did.
This one is over. Alex Claudio locks it down, and the Rangers beat the Mariners 5-3. Superb start to this big 4-game series. Needed a big start out of Cole Hamels, and they got that as well.
Close look at Alex as he throws the slider down and in. And Segura swung so hard, goes down on a knee and ends up sitting down. And a nice job by Alex Claudio, saves his 8th game. Very good ball game. Exactly what you want to see. Excellent defense. A good start by Cole Hamels. Excellent relief by 3 relievers. The Rangers scored enough runs. They got 2 big hits, 2 two-run doubles. So a combination of everything.
And the key was Cole Hamels.
Yeah, Cole was sharp tonight. He gave up the 2-run homer to Haniger, which were the 2nd and 3rd runs. But after that, he used his curveball well. He had good life on his fastball. He ends up going 6 innings, right around 100 pitches. Only 1 walk and 7 strikeouts tonight. I think the 7 strikeouts tells the story that the stuff was much crisper, much sharper for Cole tonight. Backed by really good defense. Saw it in the 9th inning with Will Middlebrooks making a couple of nice plays. And timely offense, especially early in the game. The 2 two-run doubles, one by Mazzara, one by Chu in the first 2 innings, really was the story offensively.
The Rangers in the middle of this wild card chase definitely needed a win tonight against the Seattle Mariners, a team also fancying themselves in this race. They got it. And there were a lot of great factors in this one. One of them was Delano DeShields, and he's downstairs with Emily.
Thank you very much, Delano DeShields. Big win for you guys, especially coming off a disappointing loss yesterday. What's this team playing like right now, in your opinion?
We're just, hold on.
Okay. It's hard when you know it's coming, isn't it?
I think we're just a bunch of resilient guys. We've been playing for each other. I know we've had kind of an up and down year, but that's not how you start, it's how you finish. So we're just trying to, find ways to win games and just kind of do the little things. And the beautiful thing about our team, it could be anybody a certain night, But tonight was a good team win. Cole gave us a couple zeros after he gave up 3 runs, and he gave us a shot to build on that, and our bullpen came in, did what they were supposed to do. It was a good team win.
I know you take a lot of pride in being ready when you're called upon and having a good attitude regardless of the situation. Has this season taught you that more than anything?
Yeah, absolutely. Last year I came in and I always prepare myself every day, but I think I might have taken it for granted a little bit. So this year coming in, I wanted to, I knew the situation. I had to win a spot, and I did that. And early in the season, I may have been a little discouraged. I want to be in there every day with the guys, but I understood my role, and I had to do the things necessary for me to where when my name's called, that I'll be ready to help the team win. So. I took that to heart, and now that I kind of figured that out, it's one of those things that's not going to go away.
A little pop in that bat tonight too, huh?
Yeah, I don't know where that came from, but I feel like I do really well when I work the count a little bit. That was my first time facing him. He threw me everything he had, and he made a mistake, and I got him. It was one of those ones that you just know is gone. yeah, I'm just glad to be able to contribute and help the guys win this game.
Well, congratulations on the win. We appreciate the time, buddy. We'll send it back now to you.
All right, thanks, Emily, and thank you, Delano. Big win for the Rangers tonight. Dana Larson, Mike Bassick, and Pudge will be back shortly to break it all down for you. Rangers 2 back in the wild card. For Tom Grieve and Emily Jones, I'm Dave Raymond. Stay with us. Rangers baseball continues after this.